How's it going, everybody? It's Ryan here. Going to do a little video talking about training while hurt. And I want to make this video because it seems like we all share the same problems when it comes to powerlifting and strength training. And when you Google online, on YouTube especially, you're looking for a solution for your pain. One of the videos that's pretty popular, or I get occasional comments on, is the SI joint video I made a while ago. I think it was maybe almost a year ago now. And it's interesting because, everyone is suffering from the same issues: lower back pain, shoulder pain, hip flexor pain. I mean, it's just all kinds of mess. And, I've been training pretty seriously for powerlifting for about 2 years now. And, but before that, I've been coaching, I've been, doing a lot of other things as far as just like regular bodybuilding type stuff and just regular exercise, regular fitness, non-athletic necessarily. And the one thing I kind of want you to sort of think about when it comes to training while injured is understand that there's a reason for why you got hurt. Under most circumstances, the reason why you got hurt, as it relates to powerlifters and strength athletes trying to get better, is that you have poor movement, missing range of motion. And, as I think about this throughout the years and kind of watching Kelly Starrett videos and digging into my certifications as an NASM certified trainer, corrective exercise specialist, performance enhancement specialist, watching Brooke Bush's videos, I'm starting to realize that you need full range of motion. And if you don't have full range of motion, you're going to run into problems as you get stronger. Every time I think about someone, people who can squat and deadlift and bench a crap load of weight, the ones that are like the most amazing to me, I always stick out in my head is Rich Froning, CrossFit Games champion, and then Johnny Candido, and also Dan Green. These particular athletes, what makes them so special to me, or what makes them so special from my observation, is that they move really well. They have pretty much full range of motion everywhere. A lot of you who follow Dan Green, world champion powerlifter, a record holder, he has a, what does he have? He has Olympic lifting background. He didn't do it like super seriously or anything like that, but he can get his hands overhead. He has full range of motion. He has complete dorsiflexion. He has a significant amount of flexibility. And you look at Johnny Candido, who has an amazing squat, and it's even more amazing when you find out how much he weighs, right? Realize that he is ridiculously strong. Or even, who's the other guy? Brett Gibbs, right? They move really well. So it's understanding that the reason why you got hurt in the first place is because you don't move well and you are missing capacity. You're missing range of motion. So because you're strong and because you love to train and you love lifting weights, you are able to push yourself. And when you keep pushing yourself, you sort of sacrifice technique and form. And there's small technique changes or small technique sacrifices to get more leverage, to move the weight, to get stronger. But in the process, you're causing these little mini car accidents in your joints, in certain joints, not all joints. Had someone Facebook message me, and he had some hip pain similar to mine. He thought it might be FAI, which is femoral acetabulum impingement. I think I'm saying that right. But my point is that he has an issue, and he thought he said he watched a video about Ripito and how, or Ripito talking about how, Mark Ripito talking about how it's related to ankle flexibility. And it could be. This whole process of people getting hurt is a thing that's really more to do with a piece in the system that's broken or not moving well, and then driving it into the ground. And then it hangs on to the way you're moving until it can't anymore. So ankle, knee, hip, lower back, and shoulders, right? When you're missing range of motion, you're trying to go into a end range movement, like an overhead press example, overhead, right? Okay, that's pretty good. I've been working on it. And then also ass to grass squat, or just even squatting the below parallel or below. You are asking a lot of demands from flexibility of your body. And if you don't have those ranges of motion, you can't get into those positions easily. You're going to have to give up sort of the joint integrity a little bit, not a lot, because what ends up happening when you give up a little bit of joint integrity, the muscles around it sort of get stronger. And then it comes to a point where you train too much volume, you get so strong to a point where your joints can't handle it because your movement is not good. So you will keep getting strong until you break down, until there's a fault in your movement. And that usually occurs with volume. And you can just tell by just watching someone squat. When you see someone squat and they don't look like they're squatting well, there's a reason. There's obviously something wrong with one of their joints, probably multiple joints that affects their flexibility. And when you're training while hurt, the one thing to think about, the one thing that I think about, and I'll just share with you, is you got to realize that the thing that this is kind of what I think about when it comes to training, because I've been through this cycle probably about 4 or 5, maybe 6 times already, of getting hurt, having to stop, and then having to retelegraph kind of where I want to go. And you have to change your focus. You know, you can't, I mean, it depends on how old you are. I'm 33. You know, if you're 19, for example, or you're younger, or maybe, you know, maybe you have a lot more flexibility than me. I mean, you're going to have to realize that you're going to have to change your approach. Otherwise, what's going to happen, what happened is going to happen again. So keep that in mind. This is really what I wanted to talk about, is that realizing that if you keep getting hurt, there's a reason why you keep getting hurt. And a lot of it has to do with poor movement. So you got to fix your range of motion. People always say, when I watch videos or people comment, oh, my shoulder mobility is bad, or I have an asymmetric weight shift that's bad, or I have really bad hips. Well, that's going to catch up with you when you start putting volume, reps, sets, and then when you start putting weight, intensity. And you have to realize that once you've hurt yourself multiple times, you're going to have to take a different approach. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stop your goals. It just means you need to get a different viewpoint of what you're doing. And if you have a question or a comment below, maybe I can kind of narrow in a little bit better on this discussion. But I'd like to talk more about it. Leave a comment below, ask a question, and I'll see you guys on the next video.